Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about on-time rating on UberEats. So as we all know, you could be rated on a lot of different things for Uber and UberEats. Most recently, for the delivery side of things, we have the on-time rate. And with any new feature on UberEats, it's vital that we talk about it. So with that said, I want to go over everything that's being said about on-time rating on UberEats, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything that we're about to be going over in this video is very market dependent, and what applies to me and my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. So first off, on the actual website, there is no blog, no entries on this subject at all. It is literally just nonsense. You can't even look it up on the help page. Par for the course for Uber. But that's not the point. We're just going to be utilizing the on-time ratings page. First thing we're going to notice is that it's not on the last 100 arrivals. It's on the last 200 arrivals and on the rolling basis, which is odd because almost every gig app operates on a last 100 deliveries or 100 arrivals. 100 just seems to be the universal number. Now they're just going with 200, which is odd but very interesting at the same time. But it also makes sense because of how it's laid out, because you have your pickup on time, pickup late, drop off on time, and drop off late. So they're rating you on both the pickups and the drop-offs, which is odd because sometimes you'll even see that there's more drop-offs than there are pickups, and that's for stack deliveries. Why on-time rate matters. A high on-time rate means you arrive at restaurant pickups and customer drop-offs by the estimated times in the app. It helps to indicate that your customers can depend on you when they're hungry. This rate shown doesn't affect the delivery requests you receive. But here's the question I'm asking. Does that also mean the customer can see my on-time rate? I have to actually follow up on that to make sure, but I don't know if that's actually the case. And that's literally all they tell us about on-time ratings, but I do have a few side notes on this subject. Account notices for extreme lateness. In my opinion, this is the real concern, not even the on-time rating. When it comes to being on time and lateness, that's not going to be the end of the world for you. But there are times where things are just going to happen and it's going to lead to an extreme lateness account notice. It's not going to be the end of the world, but they are trying to get people to just deliver on time. And on-time rating would be a good guide for that. I used to keep track of my on-time rating on Doordash until the rating for some reason stopped moving, which makes no sense. But either way, account notices for extreme lateness are your real concern. Risks of multi-apping. All of these apps as a whole have really been cracking down on the concept of multi-apping. And not specifically having multiple accounts, but more so running multiple accounts and taking multiple orders on multiple accounts at the same time. So if you have a DoorDash order, complete the DoorDash order. Don't have a DoorDash order, take an UberEats order, take a Grubhub order, and try to do them all in one fell swoop. That's going to be more risky for your accounts at the end of the day. If you're going to be multi-apping, and I do recommend that, you should complete the order you have, then accept more orders when they're done. That way you're not causing any extreme latenesses or making the customer wait on their food longer than they should. And honestly, that is something people need to take into account. Take local conditions into account. I feel like this is one of the more important things, but the least talked about. Yes, I am all for the point of location, location, location. I'm all for making sure you're in a good area, but not every good area is going to be the best area for you 100% of the time. Sometimes there's a construction on one of the more active roads in your area, and it's slowing everything down to such a degree to where you're spending 20 minutes to go down one block. Sometimes the weather is so bad, the roads are flooding, and you can't actually drive down there without risking your car's worse condition, to be honest. And of course, weather as a whole is a thing in itself, but I'm more talking about the overall traffic conditions. Especially since a lot of these apps are cracking down on latenesses as of late, especially with the introduction on opportunities to things like earn by time and stuff like that.
Oh, but Uber Eats doesn't have an earn by time feature.
No, but they do have an earn by hour feature for errands, and that's going to be something that we're going to go over in the future. But either way, you got to take those conditions into account before accepting those kind of opportunities. This rating is for you too. Let's be real for a second. Satisfaction rating is not going to be all your control. There are some things that are going to be in your control, some things just aren't. Acceptance rating, that's based on the orders that are coming to you. Cancellation rating, that's on you, but it's also not on you at the same time. It depends on the situation and the local area and the restaurants that you are currently working with. On-time rating, 9 times out of 10, a lot of it is on you and it's on your performance. Not gonna lie, sometimes this is a good indicator on, okay, am I doing this right, or should I be thinking about some other things? Because quite honestly, I need to be better with my ratings as well. Maybe there are things you can improve on, and maybe there are things that are like, all right, whatever. It's not just an indicator of Uber to keep track of you, it's also an indicator on how you're doing as a driver. Don't rush for ratings. Your safety is still important. If you're running a little late because of whatever freak accident that took place and they blocked off this road and you gotta go around it, whatever, don't try to bullet around people or do something illegal just for the sake of ratings. I know that it feels like there's a lot of pressure on drivers, but at the same time, your safety is still gonna be important in the long term, so make sure you're not rushing for ratings too. Your safety means more than any metric. Did I miss anything? Is there some other perspective about on-time rating that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that anybody and everybody knows anything and everything they need to know about on-time ratings on Uber Eats, so that way they can make the most amount of money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.